Chapter 3022 begins by emphasizing Cameron's fortitude. Having been trained of life's hardships to become an iron wall, she has developed a thick skin that protects her from the malicious gossip and attempts to tarnish her reputation within the York family. Her two eldest aunts, along with Carrie, have tried various methods to discredit her, but all their efforts have failed. Her strength lies in her ability to remain unbothered by these attacks, as well as in the unwavering support she receives from those who truly care about her. This support, especially from her husband Callum, is her ultimate shield, making it nearly impossible for anyone to hurt her emotionally. The narrative then shifts to a discussion between Cameron and Riley Erickson. Riley, reflecting on her own experiences and those of her friend Elissa, reassures Cameron that the negative opinions of others should not be taken to heart. She recalls how Elissa, too, was subjected to harsh judgments and gossip, particularly when she boldly pursued Zachary, a man who was the object of many women's affections in their social circle. Despite the widespread criticism, Elissa remained true to herself, maintaining her cheerful disposition and confidence. She never let the opinions of others dictate her actions or feelings. Elisa's pursuit of Zachary, who was unmarried at that time, was met with envy and scorn. Many women in their community secretly admired Zachary, but lacked the courage to pursue him openly. However, Elisa had a self assurance to go after what she wanted, even though it meant enduring the spiteful comments of others. When Zachary's relationship with Serenity became public, many people eagerly anticipated a fallout between Elisa and Serenity, hoping that jealousy would drive a wedge between them. However, Elisa's strength of character and maturity allowed her to gracefully step back from pursuing Zachary once his marriage was confirmed. She chose to support her friend Serenity instead, much to the disappointment of those who wished to see them at odds. Elisa's ability to pick up and put down is further highlighted by her eventual happiness with Remy, a member of the prominent Johnson family. Despite this turn of events only fueled further envy among her detractors, but she remained unaffected, much like Cameron. As Cameron and Riley continue their conversation, they are interrupted by a servant who informs Riley of the arrival of an unfamiliar guest, Mrs. Lab. The servant explains that none of the household staff recognize this guest, and they are unsure of her status within Witherspoon's social hierarchy. This uncertainty poses a dilemma. Should Mrs. Lab be greeted by the host family themselves, or is it sufficient for the butler to attend to her? Riley, unfamiliar with the lab name, is initially puzzled by the situation. The name doesn't ring any bells, and she realizes that she has never heard her mother mention anyone by that name before. Cameron, as a guest, remains silent, leaving the decision to Riley. Given the nature of the event, a banquet attended by members of the upper class, it is likely that Mrs. Lab's invitation indicates a certain level of status. However, the lack of familiarity makes it difficult to determine the appropriate response. After a brief moment of consideration, she decides that it would be best for her to personally greet Mrs. Lab, regardless of the guest's social standing. By doing so, she ensures that no offense is taken and that the Erickson family's hospitality remains impeccable. This decision underscores Riley's sense of responsibility and her awareness of the social nuances that govern such gatherings. The chapter concludes with Riley preparing to meet the mysterious Mrs. Lab. leaving us intrigued about the identity of this unknown guest and her significance to the story. By doing so, she ensures that no offense is taken and that the Erickson family's hospitality remains impeccable. This decision underscores Riley's sense of responsibility and her awareness of the social nuances that govern such gatherings.